Well, all right, y'all. So yeah, welcome, welcome to is Pudding's Tea. Of course, I'm your host, your wonderful, fantastic host. And with me, y'all, I have Mr. Fantastic himself, Mr. Fantastic. I can't even get through the words, Mr. Fantastic, Mr. Observant, Mr. Overachiever, Mr. Curry. I give up Mr. Curry.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I
Oh
love
my
that
goodness.
everything started with Mister this time. That was a dope one too. It was different. I like
Yeah,
that. I like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I try to switch it up. Try to make it a little different. I don't want you. I want to be anything that you would expect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But yeah, we back in here, y'all. Season 4, episode 6, y'all. So today I decided to go ahead and do another movie review because it's been a while since I heard any movie reviews coming from us. So, and this is Mr. Curry's first movie review with me.
That is
So
true.
So yeah, we got one for one for the books there. So listen, so y'all, I don't know if y'all seen this movie yet. I don't know if you were like me and didn't even heard of it. Let me tell you what happened. So I seen a video, right? I saw a video, I saw a clip, and it had like it showed like the interesting parts. I would say because it was on like what, like 6 minutes long, I think. Um, but the parts that I did see, I was like, okay, that seems interesting. And I like things that have like aliens and stuff in it. And this is pretty much what that is. It's a movie about alien that crashed in a man's backyard, right? And the name of the movie is called Jules. That's Jules. So if you haven't seen Jules already, of course this is a spoiler alert because we're gonna be going over details. Um, but keep in mind that even if you hear a movie review here or whatever the case may be, and it may have spoilers in it, I think you should still watch the movie though, because everybody has a different thought process. Everybody has different perspectives, and you may catch something in the movie that we didn't catch, or you may enjoy a movie that we didn't enjoy. Like, it just depends. I still think that you should most definitely still go see like these movies, no matter what our reviews are. Like, you should make your
Right.
own opinion, right? So
Right.
let me start off first by saying it wasn't boring, but it was a good boring movie. Like it it was super duper simple. Like I really thought it would go into, like, I thought it was one of those ones that was gonna start off slow and then end up getting kind of complex or having like this little twist. It was
Right. There's something crazy happening in the middle.
I didn't get that. I didn't Is it just me? Did you feel the same way? Like I didn't.
No, I definitely felt the same way. So, like, as I'm watching it, I was, like yourself, I was expecting, some type of craziness to happen or, oh, that's wild or something like that. And the movie is listed as a comedy.
Right.
But,
It
towards the end of it, I was just like,
it
huh.
wasn't that funny either. Like I think I would have more so. Maybe they should have took like either they should have took the thriller route or they should have threw a tad bit more comedy in there.
Yeah, I would say
Because
more comedy.
to be
Definitely.
honest, it's one of those movies where because some movies you wish you would have never watched it. Like I'm gonna go ahead and just drop this name of this movie real quick. Not sure if have you ever seen Nocturnal Animals?
I've
Nocturnal
never seen that one.
Animals. Okay. The main chick, oh, I can't remember. I forgot her name. I can't remember her name. But she's a redhead. I love seeing her movies, and it was Jake Gyllenhaal, right? So I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
this must gonna be good because I like both of them as actors. Um, it was for me, and maybe it's just a personal thing, but for me personally, I did not enjoy it. Like, don't get me wrong, you wouldn't have guessed it. It had plenty of like thrill and like bad stuff going on, but to me, it was just too much bad and not enough good to weigh it out. Like, it was just devastating. Like, it was a little scarring, and I think like they could take the route that they took because of the way the movie was. And I know this is a movie review about something else, and I'm, I'm bringing up another movie real quick, but listen. That movie is a prime example of a movie I wish I could take back and wish I would have never watched it.
Mm.
Like real talk.
Yeah,
I'm not going we're not doing a whole
yeah.
review, so I'm not gonna go get into it. Just know if you haven't seen it already, you're fine. You're probably better off. If you don't trigger easily or if you like stuff like no matter how crazy it gets, then by all means do your thing. But for me personally, I wish I could just forget the movie existed. Like I wish I would have never watched it. Like I don't enjoy movies that I wish I could take back because you can't.
Right. You can't take that back. You watched it.
Right. And so with this movie, it didn't feel like I wasted an hour and a half of my life. It didn't feel that way. It
Right. I didn't
didn't.
feel as though it was a waste.
It was
I was invested.
just.
I just thought there was gonna be more.
It just wasn't fulfilling. Like it wasn't. So we're gonna go ahead and break it down, and then I pretty much throughout the review that I have here, y'all will see what I'm saying. Y'all see why I'm saying it. Okay, so first thing that stuck out to me was like the first 5 minutes, right? The first 2 minutes.
Mm.
They come in and the main character Milton, who's the older gentleman, the elderly gentleman that the alien. Well, okay, so he had like a flower of he had a flower bed of azaleas, right?
Azaleas. Yeah.
And the way he goes about like the way he talks and presents things uh is not like he has no like I noticed at first like he has no caution whatsoever, right? It's like caution thrown to the wind. Like he he comes right out and says it as if he wasn't just telling people like that alien landed in his backyard. So the alien crashed, and at first there was no alien, like it was just the UFO, right? And it crashed into his azaleas. So he went to
Mm.
like the what was that, like the city council or whatever
Yeah,
meeting.
like a town hall meeting.
Yeah, like there you go. So he went to like the town hall meeting to report what happened, right? So he gets up to the podium and he was like, "Yes, I have an issue." And they was like, "What's your state your issue, or whatever?" And he was like, "I have well, a UFO landed in my backyard, and it it ruined my azaleas, and it broke my bird bath."
Yep.
Like straight like that. And they was like, "I'm sorry, what was that?" He was like, "Yeah, UFO." There's like a UFO. He's like, "Yes, landed in my backyard, ruined my azaleas, and broke my bird bath." And they were just like, they looked at each other like, "Okay, like next." Like there's no way he just coming up to us like this talking about UFOs. And one of his like, well, I wouldn't say friend, they were what I would call associates. They knew her. It was him and two other main characters that they were kind of like friends right throughout the movie. Um, but her in particular, the first lady, she was like, when they got outside, she's like, you shouldn't tell them stuff like that because they won't take us seriously with our real complaints. And he's like, but it is a UFO that crashed in my backyard. And she
Right.
was, she was like, you can't be telling people stuff like that. Like they're not gonna take us seriously. And she walks off. So the second main character, well, third main character that comes into play, um, she comes up to him and she's more of a nicer, understanding person, right? Mind
Right.
you, Milton's like health and stuff like that, his mental health is like declining, right? And he has like a son that moved away that he doesn't really talk to. Then he has his daughter that still lives there. She's like, she stays concerned about him, right?
Mm.
And like she comes over to the house sometimes, and so she came over to the house, and he had put like a can of string beans in the bathroom cabinet, and so she started noticing early signs of what would they be like, Alzheimer's or dementia.
Right.
And so she's already thinking like he's losing it, right? And so he's an older gentleman, and pretty much anytime you start talking like that, even if you're not dealing with those type of things, that's the first like kind of label they put on you anyway. And so he openly like says this to people, right? So he ends up like a couple days later. This is where Jules the alien comes out of the spaceship and he finds Jules outside. And so he offers Jules to come in the house. And mind you, Jules isn't the name that the alien told him. Like he didn't talk. The alien didn't talk the whole entire movie. He never
Literally
said
the whole
anything.
movie. And I thought he was. I thought the other was gonna say something eventually, but nope.
I did too. I thought he was
He
gonna
just spent the whole
surprise
movie
them.
looking.
I thought he was gonna surprise them, bro.
It shocked me. I
He
not a
never said
single
anything.
word.
Not nothing. And so he clearly he could understand them for the most part. They just couldn't understand. Well, he didn't talk, so they didn't know. They for the most part they assumed he could understand because of how he would act. But he was very very docile. Like he was very chill. Like he just listened to the anytime they talked, he listened to them. And anytime they wasn't talking to him, or anytime they wasn't looking for any of his attention, that's when he'll work on his spaceship, which gets even weirder for me, bro. But so Jules, he ends up bringing Jules in the house or whatever. And he was like, not that you could look at him and tell, but Milton told the friend like he was pretty banged up because now mind you, so he got Jules in the house, right? He makes him an assortment of meals to see what he might like. And he ended up only liking the apples that he gave him, apples and water. So he goes to the grocery store to get him more apples because that's the only thing he eat. So he's buying like
Mm-hmm.
20 apples at a time. And so the guy at the grocery store, like, yeah, you getting a lot of apples. He was like, it's not for me, it's for the alien that landed in my backyard. And the man's like, okay. Like, like he's telling people this and he's just so cool and collected about it. No one's thinking anything of it, right? And so he tells his daughter the same thing. She takes him to go get tested to pretty much see if, she takes him to talk to a specialist to see if he is, having any signs of dementia or anything like that. Come to
Right.
find out that he actually is, right? But
Mm-hmm.
it actually has nothing to do with the alien though.
Nope.
Like that's the crazy part about it. Like it has nothing to do with the alien. So she thinks like he's like, but he's like, no, I'm serious. There really is an alien landing in my backyard. So she thinking he's just losing his mind. So mind you, he reports this to the town hall, whatever. They completely ignore him. But then a few days later on the news. Oh wait, I'm skipping ahead. Sorry. So the friend, this not the first lady that talked to him, but the second lady that talked to him, that the one that's always nice to him. She ends up coming over to the house. She needed something for something that they were doing, and he lets her come over. Mind you, the alien is on the couch sitting there chilling. So she
Oh,
walks
she
in.
needed to borrow the printer.
Yeah,
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 she was like, I need to borrow a printer because I got to put up these flyers around town for this thing that I'm doing.
right,
And he's like, okay, yeah, I have a printer. And what shocked me is that as soon as he said okay and hung up the phone, he was at the front door.
right. Like she was already on her way over there. Like she pretty because remember when they showed her talking to him, she was in the car.
Right.
So she had just as soon as he said okay, she had to already had them parked in his driveway, whatever the case may be. Like she did get there super quick. Like like because first she was like, well, if it's gonna be any trouble, and he was like, he paused. He's like, well, no trouble. I guess he was thinking like, should I let her come over here with this man sitting on the couch? Um, maybe. And then he made up his mind. He's like, okay. And it's his attitude though, like his disposition throughout the experience is kind of like funny to me because he's just real cool about it. And so I guess
He really
he,
doesn't care about any, at
yeah,
first at least. Before she said, before she said what she said, he really didn't care about anybody knowing.
right. He really did. He really, really did. And he was just like whatever. Like it was a normal like a stray cat. Like he was reporting a stray cat had came into anybody lost their cat type of thing. Like it was just so normal for him. And so she didn't think nothing of it when she came in at first, and she was just talking right. And she's like, yeah. So anyway, like pretty much like I appreciate whatever, whatever. She just talking to him like normal, and then she's like, oh my god, what is that? And she sees him
She hit
sitting
the
on the.
door, slid down. What the F is
She was like about to pass out. She's like, oh my, she's like, hold on, I gotta sit down. So she sits on one end of the couch, the alien sitting on the other end. It's like a what, 3-seater?
that?
So it's only one spot in between them, and she's just looking at him like, you had like she's just looking like this is a whole alien. He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, he was pretty banged up, and I've been nursing him back to health. We just been she's like, what y'all been doing? He said nothing, just chilling, just relaxing and talking,
Eating apples.
eating apples.
Yeah, it seems like he only eats apples and drinks water.
Yeah,
So
and she's like looking at him like, are you kidding me? Like she's like, how long has he been here?
a
He's
few
like,
days now.
a few days,
But
but the first two were in his
yeah,
ship. What?
The first 2 days were in the ship, and then eventually he came out. So I
And then
let him in.
yeah. And then, and I brought him inside. And she was like, what the fuck? Like, you didn't say that. Like, so now she's on the bandwagon though. She's team alien, right? And this is one of the things that jumped out to me. And she said to him, she was like, you can't keep telling people that he's here. And he was like, why not? And she was like, you know what they do to them. She's like, I know what they do to his type of people. And he was like, well, how do you know? And she was
Have
like,
you
from
had
the
this happen
movie.
before? No, but
She was like, from the movie. She was like, from the movies I watch. And she's like, they're all, this is what she said. And she said, they're all based on something.
yes, it just is.
And I was like, is this movie, because the movie was so, to me, empty, because the movie was empty, I call it empty. Because it wasn't boring, it was very empty. Because it was empty, when she first said that, it had me locked in. I was like, okay, this might get better. I was like, that one line that she said, and she as she ended up reiterating, especially when the other woman ended up finding out, which we'll get to. But when she said that, I was like, so is this movie based off of something? Because it was too simple. Like, to me, it was a waste of time. Like, they could have did something. Like, they could have did something else.
Of all
Like,
the things you could have made a movie on.
I just feel like they could have made, like, this is the type of movie you would have seen back in the day, right?
Right.
Like, when like, your first role of alien movies, it would have been fine because the idea of aliens back at a certain particular time frame, this movie would have been like, okay, decent. But it's like where we are now, like, come on, bro, like, we're watching Guardians of the Galaxy type of thing where they're, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So it's like it didn't match like the time frame we're in. So I'm like, what was the point in this movie? It has to serve some type of point because it's like, y'all couldn't have thought this was gonna hit in the box office. Like, like how did, no one, I didn't hear about it. So that was one of the main things that stuck out. Now, but going back to the very beginning of the movie, did you notice, like, before the meeting started with the town hall, that they all did the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yeah.
That was odd to me. I didn't even know they did that. Which is what I should have mentioned when we did the education one episode. When it comes to the Pledge of Allegiance, like, that's pretty deep if you really sit and think about it. Like, why are my children at an establishment pledging their allegiance to something? Like, that's weird. That's so weird to me. It's kind of like it's kind of military to me type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
It very much is.
It's odd to pledge. If you really think about those words, you're pledging your allegiance. Like, where are we going? We were going to fight or something? Like, what's why I gotta pledge my allegiance? That's kind of weird to me, bro. Like, what kind of special group?
Just a reminder that if you need to go to war, that you're down.
And mind you, you went to school and you said your pledge of allegiance every day.
Yep.
That you pretty much are swearing over your heart, bro. Like, it's odd to me. Not even gonna lie, it's odd to me. It's very odd to me. But yeah, but moving forward, because that's a different subject. Moving forward, so they're living their best life, right? With the alien. They're still, mind you, he still is going by no name. Milton, the main character who found him, Milton didn't even care to give him a name. He was like, because he can't tell him his name, and he's not gonna name him like he's a puppy or something. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it just made sense. But when the second woman, now this is how the second woman ended up coming into play.
She was
So
so nosy.
she's at home. She's at home, and she hears on the news or something like that that the military, the government was looking for a satellite that crashed somewhere. And that's when she realized, because first of all, she had already believed, kind of, sort of, that something had happened and that Milton wasn't crazy. She knew that. She just didn't want him to say nothing because she knew that no one was going to believe him. And she actually had complaints. They had complaints. So she was like, no one's going to believe you anyway. Like, we all know how that's going to go, bro. If you find an alien or anything alien like, by this day and age, you should really have a better, head on your shoulders and should know what's going to happen, what's going to come from that. So, but as soon as she heard that, she knew, and it solidified that Milton had the alien, right? So she goes snooping and she sneaks to his house, and she sees him sitting on the couch. So she knocks on the door, and the lady, the first well his first friend that came over, right, the first one to meet him, she was like, no, don't open the door. Like, we got to hide him. She's like, take him upstairs because we can't let her see him because we can't let her find out. Da da da. So he's like, okay. So they take the alien up. He takes the alien upstairs, and she goes and answers the door. And she's like, hey, and she tried to be all normal. And then the woman's just like, I saw the alien sitting on the couch. She was like, I saw him. And they was like, ah. So they had to let her in on the secret. And so they sit at the table talking to her, and it was her. I think it wasn't it her idea to give him a name.
Yeah. After they
So
were talking about killing her at first.
yeah, that was funny because there was the woman was like, "Listen, nobody's supposed to know. You're not supposed to know right now. This is a secret." And Milton was like, "We could just kill her," and she was like, "What?" It's like, "I'll kill you. What do you mean?"
I'll kill you.
Right? And so they end up letting her. So it ended up throughout the whole movie. It's just them three, right? And it's pretty much like the government trying to track down the UFO that they was looking for, but they was telling everybody it was a satellite. So throughout the movie, though, like they're doing like normal things, but they're trying their best to help. Well, the lady ended up calling him Jules. No, it was the nice lady that ended up calling him Jules because the other lady that found out last, she wanted to call him Gary.
Yeah. She said he looks
So
more like a Gary.
yeah. So but they end up naming him Jules, which is why this is why the movie is called Jules. So come to find out that he ended up needing cats, bro. Cause he kept drawing like little pictures of cats. Like just a simple little drawing of cat or whatever. He thought it was just a cute little drawing, like he was a child in kindergarten or
Right, he
something.
thought it was like, because the first was just one. Like,
Yeah, it
he
was
went
just
to
one.
sleep, woke up, and there's just a picture of a cat.
That's it. Just a picture of a cat
So
while he
he's
was
like, thank you for the picture.
right. He said, I appreciate it. It's a cute little, it's a lovely picture. It's a lovely drawing that you drew for me. And he just, cause he never said anything. So he was just like,
He
hmm.
just stares at him like, okay.
Then he drew like 8 cats. And then he drew like 6 cats, some shit like that, right? And the last lady to find out, she was like, I think he's trying to tell us something. And then they was like, no, he's not. Couldn't find out he was trying to tell them something because they ended up finding the dead cat.
In the back,
Um,
yeah, in the back by the ship.
because they could smell it or whatever. And then that's when they realized that he needed dead cats in order to fix his spaceship. Y'all, I really thought it was going somewhere at that point. It still didn't go anywhere. So now they looking for dead cats, right? I'm looking for cats that he can
They
use.
specifically had to be dead.
You said who?
They specifically had to be dead.
Yeah, they had to be dead. Like they couldn't be, or he'll kill them.
Yeah,
Like they had to be dead though, which I found very strange. And I was like, how did he know that he needed cats? Oh, I wonder.
they drove around town looking for
Dead cat.
roadkill cats.
Yeah, which is strange because they didn't want to just. Now, mind you, Milton's daughter worked as she was a veterinarian, so he originally had called her and was like, "Hey, what do you do with your dead cats?" And she was like, "What?" So, mind you, now she think he's losing his mind. So she's like, "Why would you need to know what we do with the cats that die here at the vet clinic?" And he's like,
Right.
"Just wanted to." He said, "Just having conversation." And she's really thinking like he may need to go to assisted living or something. Like he losing his mind. So he was like, "Never mind." So they ended up just looking for cats, and I can't remember. They ended up finding because he needed like a certain number of cats. Um, but mind you,
Hey,
in between all of this, in between them trying to keep him a secret and trying to find cats, the government is listening to everybody's phone calls and narrowed it down to Milton. And they listened to because like his daughter kept talking about how he was talking about the alien, right? And
mm,
so they pretty much was tapping everybody's phones, listening to keywords, narrowed it down to Milton, and was getting closer and closer and closer. And so they end up stopping by the house or whatever. Just how they do like that whole try to be friendly type of visit first.
right.
Um, so they did that first, and that's when they realized, okay, they probably on to us. So it's like we gotta hurry and find him a cat. Now, mind you, the second lady, the one that wasn't as friendly at the beginning, um, she had a cat, and her cat. had been going like blind, like he just getting older and he wasn't really walking anymore. Like this, so Milton brought that up to her, and
They
she
needed
got
one cat, more cat.
they needed one more
Right.
cat, and Milton was like, "What about yours?" He's like, "But you already told me he's already halfway dead." Like, and so she was mad at first. And she went. She's like, he's like my child, and she ran out or whatever, being dramatic. And then the lady went to go talk to her, and she was like, Milton shouldn't have said that. And she was like, no, he's right. Like whatever, whatever. Um, Now there was a part that I skipped, and I decided to skip that just so I wouldn't just so I wouldn't tell you the whole movie because you need something to look at if you decide to watch it. But he does have a special gift. I thought it was going somewhere with that. It didn't go anywhere. It didn't go anywhere. So I can leave that
Yeah,
part
it
out.
just
It's fine.
happened, and it was done.
Right. So it's like, okay. So he used his special little power. I'm gonna kind of leave that detail out. So he used his special little power and he puts the cat to sleep. It wasn't violent or anything like that. He puts the cat to sleep. He dies. I honestly thought he was gonna change his mind and bring the and like make the cat healthy or something.
Me too.
Like I really,
I thought he was gonna say not this cat and like heal it or something. No, just peacefully puts it to sleep.
but it wasn't that. That wasn't the case. Like they kept letting me down. They kept letting me down. So he takes the cat. Now this is the thing that get where it just has certain points in it that makes me just wonder if it was only made to show or try to tell you something in particular because he takes like this aluminum foil blanket and he puts it over the like last remaining dead cats that he has. And it turns into like this huge size like gem.
Yeah, this huge, dark red, ruby looking gem. They're all smooth
Right.
and
It was real
curved out.
smooth and stuff. I was like, oh, that's nice. It might have been blood though, for all I know now that I think about it. But it was like a crimson red, like it was real smooth. It was pretty, and he just placed it inside of his ship, and boom, he fixed the ship. And I guess that was like fuel or something. Who knows? So he fixed the ship. Long story short, the FBI ends up coming, um, and they trying to come and confiscate him and the ship, but he done fixed the ship now, so all of them get on the ship. He offers for Milton to go back to his planet with him, right? Milton's he considers it, and then his daughter calls him, and she's like, "It's time for your haircut. I gotta come, cut your hair. I just want to spend some time with you. I don't want to talk about the alien or anything, or talk about anything else. I'm sorry, da da da." So she pretty much was like wanting to make up or whatever. And mind you, it's like they all kind of share that about themselves. Like the first lady, her husband also had like Alzheimer's or dementia and ended up passing away, and he ended up, they ended up talking about that. Her kids don't come see her anymore. Well, her daughter doesn't come to see her, and da 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 da. So like they were kind of lonely, type of thing. They kind of painted that picture. Um,
Right.
and Milton was like he didn't want to be there because he was no at this point he's no longer in denial, and he's like I'm getting worse. He's like I'm gonna get worse over time. And he didn't want to. He like living on his own, being independent, of course. And so he was considering going with him. He was like, my kids will be fine. Like they don't really fool me like that. No way. But he ends up changing his mind after the phone call, right? So the alien ends up taking them to like this different location, and they was wondering whether they were off planet or not. And then one of the friends was like, I still got service and everything on my phone, so he just took us so that the police wouldn't get us.
Right.
And so he's just gonna drop us off. And so he dropped them off and he left, right? And so everybody goes back to like normal lives. And they show Milton sitting on the couch or whatever. And he's still kind of like, Milton. And he's talking to the friend and she was like, well, who knows how many planets he's been to? Do you think that he will remember us? And Milton, like they get, the camera zooms in on his face, and it's like this dramatic, like pause, and he's like, "I think so," or like, "Hope so," some crap like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
he's by himself at his house, and all of a sudden you see the lights from the spaceship where he comes. Well, I'm assuming because the movie goes off, y'all. So the spaceship lands, and then Milton smiles, and then that's it. I even scroll past the credits to see if there's gonna have an extra scene or something. I was disappointed. So all in all, it was a
You
very
know,
dry movie.
honestly, I told myself I was because I was gonna do the same thing. I was gonna scroll past the credits to see if there's like a hidden scene at the end or something like that. And I just started to play the credits. I thought to myself, they ain't got no hidden scene.
I'm like, what? And so then it just left me stumped. I'm like, it's 2023. What was the point in that? Like, mind y'all, I picked the movie. Neither one of us had seen it. I just saw that clip, and I was like, okay, this might be good to do a movie review on, because y'all know anything that's like aliens or anything like that. Y'all should know about now, like the theme of this podcast. So
I
I thought,
love a good alien movie.
right, uh, y'all. Don't get me wrong. It's like if you one of those people that like to put something on to watch you and you don't really pay attention. Like if you're a gamer, like I like to like some stuff I like for it to watch me while I play my game, right? And I just tune in a little bit, but it don't take much of my attention. Like I don't like that's the perfect movie because you're not really gonna miss much. Like I'm like, dude, like that's it.
This,
That's
you know,
it.
this movie has an 84% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wild tomato. Look, let me tell you something. I'm talking wild tomatoes. I mean rotten tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes makes me wonder how professional does it get with movie reviews, because to me, don't get me wrong, like I said, it's not a boring movie, it's just dry, it's empty, like it. But the thing is, I don't put nothing past nobody. Like this took a movie budget, okay? People had to get paid to do this, all right? Like what's the what like what if it's
No, no,
84%, then that means it probably did do decent in movie. I don't even, bro. I haven't seen one commercial. I haven't heard anyone talk about this movie. It just so happened to pop up on my feed, and I watched it. As far as that clip went, and the clip looked good. Come to find out that those 6 minutes was the only thing you
those six
needed to
minutes was
see.
the best that it had.
Yeah, besides the ending where he did come back, I did like that.
I knew he was gonna come back. As soon as they said, "Do you think he'll remember us?" I was like, "Here he comes."
I didn't think so though, because they had disappointed me the whole entire movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, what's really like, what's the point? What was the point? What was the point? Like, only time he got violent is when he was protecting them. Okay, cool. Blah blah blah. Like,
Right.
what was? I still feel like there was a point that it probably just went over my head. I'm hoping that there was a point. I'm hoping that there was just hidden information, because it's like I just don't. It wasn't that funny. I laughed maybe twice.
Yeah, a little chuckle here and there.
But that was it. And it's like after, I ain't gonna front y'all. After we sort of like of course we always have our staff meetings before and after an episode,
Mm-hmm.
and we were in our staff meeting like, bro, like we should have felt like, bro, maybe we should, like I really was feeling like maybe we should have been a better movie. Like we really wasn't sure how this episode was gonna go, cause the movie was
You
so
got,
the movie was so boring, y'all. Like I don't want to use the word boring, but
this is something that you watch with your grandpa.
yes, there you go. It's perfect.
Yeah,
This is
something
something.
different for your grandpa to watch, and like at the end of it,
It's
like you're not gonna feel really fulfilled, but your grandpa is gonna enjoy the fact that he was able to watch a movie
with
with
you.
you.
Yes. This is like quality time, family. This is a nice little mild family type of vibe, you know. I don't know.
Something to be able to say, I spent time.
Your kids, if they're not if
If you
they're
got
not
young kids, don't expect them to sit down for this movie.
they
That ain't
might
going
not.
down.
Yeah, they because it's not enough going on for young kids. I think this will have to be kids who understand alien, like what an alien is. Like they can recognize this is about an alien. Like my
I mean, even
nephew,
if they know what an alien is, it's like
my
this
nephew
is
might watch it. He might watch it.
none.
Like 6 or 7 years old, maybe, maybe,
None of my
maybe.
nieces are gonna watch this.
Like
They
if
would
it,
sit there and they would sit there like I'll say this. They would watch it for the sake of the fact that I'm watching it
that part, like it has to be
because
family night.
yeah, they'd watch it because they love me, and they'd be
That
like,
part.
"Oh yeah, we're gonna watch this movie with Mr. Curry, yay!" But at the end of it, like one of them's gonna fall, or two of them are gonna fall asleep anyway. And once they
Oh,
were
oh
still
yeah.
awake, they're gonna be like, what was the purpose of that?
Like you can play this at the end of the year at school
Yeah,
for your
just for
students.
yeah, so give them a
It's
free day.
safe. It's a safe movie.
It
It's
really
very
is.
safe. Um, but it didn't feel like a waste of time though, which is why I didn't want to call it boring because it didn't feel like I wasted my time or anything. It just felt very vanilla.
That's the weirdest part. It's like there's nothing big about it or anything like that, but
Nothing to
somehow
talk
it
about.
still doesn't feel like a waste of time. That's the
Th-
part that I'm trying to understand.
That's what I'm saying. I'm conflicted. Like one minute I want to call it boring, and the next minute I'm really big on not calling it boring. Like I'm so conflicted. It just nothing happened. Nothing happened. And it's like it was such a normal occurrence, like type of vibe to it. So I'm like, I wonder. It just makes me wonder. Like if it would make more sense if it was just based off a true story, and that's just the only thing that happened.
That would be nice.
That would make me feel better to just know that it was a true story because
Right.
anything else, I didn't see anything else hidden besides the fact that the somehow, some way, they had to know what type of area it landed in, and they just started tapping everybody's phones illegally.
Right. I
Like
completely agree with you there.
because they kept going back and forth with that one. Like they showed that type of thing. Like they showed that scene with them listening to them for too
Right.
long.
Yeah,
Like
they showed a lot of that.
they showed a lot of clips of them listening to them on the phone. Like almost every time they got on a phone call with each other, they was listening to it. And it took them a few, this is the thing though, they said alien so many times, but it still took them a few phone calls before they actually tried to like take it seriously or move in, which is
Right.
something I found peculiar.
Right.
But and then like who was that? Somebody on one of the phone calls said it though that he said it was a UFO in his backyard. So I'm surprised they didn't just come straight in. They listened for a while, y'all. Like they let them go on with day to day life for a little bit before they
Yeah.
actually like
Yeah.
moved in.
They
So
really
that
did.
so that stuck out to me. Other than that, y'all like I said, y'all can go watch it. I would really, really actually like for y'all to go watch it and then comment and let us know.
Tell us how you feel.
Yeah, tell us how you feel about it. But yeah, this was a dub, okay? So I put this in the thumbs down category because we bring more movies to y'all, more movie reviews to y'all. Next time I think well, it's like you really don't know until you see the movie. So
Right.
we just yeah, my bad. Maybe I should let you pick the next one.
We'll work on a better one, y'all.
Yeah, man, I should let you pick the next. I thought that was going to be a good pick. I'm like, who? How can you mess up an alien movie? You know. But yeah, y'all like so that one I give it a thumbs down. Mr. Curry, what you got? Thumbs up, thumbs
Uh,
down, or neutral?
I'm I'm more so neutral on it.
You neutral? Okay.
Yeah, I'll say neutral, just because of
Because it wasn't
because
terrible.
he right. It wasn't terrible.
But yeah, y'all, that's about it, y'all. That's all we
Excuse
really got. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And also y'all wish Mr. Curry well. He has a little cold, y'all.
me. Yeah, still trying to get over that a little bit. Sorry for that, y'all.
But you know what though? I think this movie review kind of matches because at least we didn't have to get too lit or too hype, you know.
That is
Since
true.
you and we wasn't really trying to make you because he can't laugh the way he want to, y'all, and you know he little shit. Okay, sorry, but yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, y'all heard me laugh on the other episodes. I'm trying to hold back a little bit so I don't tear your eardrums up.
right? Because he tried not to cough and stuff like that, y'all. But he still showed up. He still showed up for y'all.
That's
So y'all
true.
give it up for Mr. Curry. Y'all give it up for Mr. Curry and wish him well, y'all. Y'all give it up for Mr. Curry. But yeah, but don't give it up for this movie. I gave it a thumbs down. But you can go ahead and y'all check it out. And I did leave some stuff out, so y'all still have something to look forward to when you do watch the movie.
Yeah, sure
Um,
do.
but yeah, that's a dub for me. But yeah, we're gonna pick a better movie. Okay, so yeah, so thank you all for tuning in today. We appreciate you. We love the vibes. Don't forget to check us out on TikTok at
Definitely.
podcast underscore it's Pudding's tea. Every time we have any updates or anything like that, we're gonna post it there. And we also have just some random upcoming motivational, etc. type of posts and stuff like that. Just And I think I'm gonna also start sharing, like, when I be talking about all these clips that I be seeing, y'all.
Right.
I think that anytime I know I'm gonna, because most of the time I know I'm gonna bring it up on the episode. So instead of just talking about it, I think, that you know what, that might be a good idea, Miss Girl, for me to post on our TikTok page any of the videos that I reference to, post them on there so you can also see it, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That I think that'd be dope because most of the clips I do see I can. I'm pretty sure I can post them on TikTok. So yeah. So y'all look forward to that and all those good things. And we just have, we're building up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We got things going on, things happening. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get on this train. I don't know why I keep saying that, but I like it. Y'all get on the
I
y'all
like it
come on
too.
this
Yes,
train
yes.
ride. Oh, y'all get on the train. Okay, so yeah, but anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. We love you guys. Mr. Curry, you got anything?
Mm, make a
But
friend with an alien if you can. If not, don't make it so bland.
and don't tell anybody either. It's no point.
Definitely don't tell anybody.
Unless you can trust them, y'all can be cool, but don't talk about it on the
Cover your
phone.
windows.
Like you said, you said
Cover
what?
your windows.
That's what I'm saying. Cover your windows, bro. Like just don't let nobody at this. Unless it's us, you can tell us.
Come on.
Y'all can
We got you
email
guys.
us. Y'all can message us. You know what I'm saying? Let us know. And if you can't, by if for some reason if you can't find our information to notify us or to hit us up directly, just comment and let me know that, and I'll make sure that I reply back. Now, depending on what platform you on, it may take me a little bit longer to check that particular platform because some platforms, like I ain't gonna lie, if I don't use it on an everyday basis, if I don't actually use those platforms personally myself, then it may take me just a tad bit longer to check those. But if I don't, I'm sorry. But yeah, but let us know, you guys. And that was it. And until the next episode, we out, y'all.
We are.